Intrepid viewers, good to see you. Coming to you, as always, from tomorrow. It's a special gift I have. Okay, well, we've got to have a look at Giuliani, of course. I did a little read on him with Johnny yesterday, whenever that was. We had a great time doing a collab one-on-one, but I want to have a look at another angle on that. I also want to have a look, must write it down. Meghan McCain, what is wrong with that woman? She is seriously weird. And I also want to have a look at the infrastructure plan, where it's going, who's going to benefit, what is the story behind that. So let's just leap on in. So I'm using cards I haven't used for a while. I very much like them, Next World Tarot. I stopped using them for a while because they're so nice and it's hard to talk about these people with these really nice cards, but I'll do my best. I'm sure I can provide my own little level of cynicism over the lot. So let's have a look. What else is happening while I'm shuffling? Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Are we sick of that name yet? Well, yes. And she insists that she wants to debate AOC. That would be hilarious. I would pay money to live stream that from Australia. Oh, my word. Let's hope that goes ahead. But in the meantime, Giuliani. But it's not just Giuliani. Let me set the scene here a bit. Intrepid viewers, how much do I love you? I did videos 3 years ago about the connections between these players and the Russian oligarch Dmitry Firtash, who's hiding in Austria because if he steps out of Prague, he's going to get arrested by 3 countries, certainly the US, so he's not going far. And that was the Michael Cohen stuff. Remember when Michael Cohen's phone apparently went to Prague for a trip all on its own? So back when Michael Cohen was the bad boy, he was in this stuff too. Now he's had the big mea culpa. He's on the other side. But this is where this money has been going. And I can remember doing videos. I even did drawings. Intrepid viewers who have been around a long time will remember. I did those Venn diagrams showing how everyone connects to everyone. Well, now it's coming home to roost. Okay. So what are the other issues around this? It's not just Ukraine. It is Ukraine, but it's bigger than Ukraine. Okay, Giuliani and the Russians. Now, oh, they're stuck together. There might be a story there. Oh, forgive me. Okay. The source, the world. Oh, these poor cards, I must get them out more. They're sticking together because they need more handling. This starts with the Two of Cups. In this deck, it has an interesting slant, as you can see here. The point with the Two of Cups is this is I'm getting him confused. Just hang on a second. What's coming through is Giovanni, I think his name is. They're a weird, very bent lawyer couple, Tonsing and Di Giovanni or someone. They're a couple and they've worked with him. And so every time I go to say Giuliani, I come out with Giovanni. So they're all in bed together, let me be frank. And they've been, I'd say, this goes back 10 years, maybe more. I just heard 10. It's certainly longer than 10 months. I think it goes way back, right? I don't mean literally. I just mean in terms of doing deals with, this is about the oligarchs. Queen of Swords. I think this is the female lawyer. I'm trying to remember her name. I think it's some Victoria Tunsing, something like that. Please let me know, viewers. The sword is down, pointing to the earth, and in this case, it's like burying the sword of justice. This is the past attitudes about things. Was if we can get away with it, we will. So no one's looking, let's do it. So I think they talked each other up. This is Giuliani. I'll call him Di Giovanni, but he's the husband of Tunsing. And there will be others, but they were the ones working together with Firtash. Remember that name, Dimitri Firtash. And we know this can be verified because remember Lev and Eagle, lest we forget, they were the ones who were the bagmen. Entertainment purposes only, YouTube, bless, right? But this is all on the public record. You don't have to be a psychic to follow this. What I'm working on is what was the background to it that isn't exposed with good investigative journalism. So that was their past attitudes. What was their past actions? The world. And the world card is, that's what I mean. I just woke up this morning thinking, you know, this is so much more than Ukraine. This is a lot of countries involved here. Already you have Russia, Ukraine, the USA, Austria, and wherever the oligarchs, and they're residing all over the world. This is a global scandal in the making. Now, energy over this issue for now. The Three of Wands, business and commerce over the waters. But in this case, this is someone, this is the law books. I've got a through line here of these lawyers. The next people to be raided, I'm hoping, will be this husband and wife law team. I think it's them, right? What to expect in the short term? The High Priestess. This is what they're not talking about. I love this card, isn't it fabulous? They will be so busy, like the old joke, you know, busier than a paper shredder in the White House. This will be bigger than a paper shredder in Manhattan as they're trying to get rid of evidence. And I think this is going to be a big issue. But these days with cyber footprints, you know, I'm sorry, you can't get away with it, pet. But this is their attempt to hide it. The Four of Cups, this is the plea deal for someone. Will the couple turn on Giuliani? Will Giuliani turn on the lawyer couple? Or will the couple turn on each other? Anything's possible with these people. So let me just do a clarifier on who will be the first to cave out of Giuliani, Tunsing, and Di Giovanni. Let's see. Who will be the first to cave? The Hermit, the Virgo, the Fool. I think it might be her. I think it might be her. She's a tough cookie, but she gets the Fool card. She's the one that first realises they're not going to get out of this. I think it's her. I think it's her. Okay, now speaking of cyber issues, Arizona. How many more attempts at recounts can go on? And the company that Arizona has chosen to do the recount, I'm sure you're aware, they're called Cyber Ninjas. Now, would you hire a company for such a serious thing that's called cyber ninjas? Would you trust them? But no fault to them, because they're given an impossible scenario. It's not please do a recount. No, because that's already been done several times. It's please do something illegal and call it a recount. That's what they're actually asking the cyber ninjas to do. So will they do it or not? Yeah. Okay, so that's the cyber ninjas. Yeah, before I get to Megan, I have to say a few things about Canada. First of all, remember I put the word out, is there a woman in Canadian politics who's sort of got a bit of weight? Excuse me, and a lot of Canadian viewers got back, thank you. The opinion seems to be there is a female leader of the Greens, but they're not hugely powerful. It's the same everywhere. You know, they get 10%, 15% of the vote here and most places. But a few of you mentioned Chrystia Freeland, and she's the Deputy Prime Minister. So I'm going to do a mini read on Chrystia and her political future. What's happening here? Her political future. And sorry, I thought the election was going to be later this year. It's 2023. So also Canada, bless, there's a legislation going forward to make childcare $10 a day. I don't know if it'll get up. It might have already been held. So Canadian viewers, please let me know. If it's not too late, I'll read on it, but it might have come and gone. But I think it's a wonderful idea, and that's what childcare should cost, because it's an investment in the nation. Early childhood actually decides futures. Right. All the evidence in the world says this over and over. So every country, except outside of Scandinavia, that spends good amounts of money on it, and parts of Europe, all stint on it. We in Australia stint on it, and it's false economy. Anyway, I digress. So Chrystia Freeland's future. Let's have a look at her. Oh, these cards. I'm sorry, cards. I should have been treating you better. Oh, wow. Oh, she's got good cards. She's going to be around for a while. Over the lot, she has the Sun, totally fabulous. She has the Chariot. She's a woman on a mission, right? The Four of Pentacles, this is putting down foundations and making a solid foundation for the future, followed by the Temperance card. Yeah, Fabi Angel, love that. She can see both sides of most questions. She's a very reasonable and balanced person politically. So she's got a future. She has a future. We'll have to keep our eye on Chrystia Freeland. Now, okay, so thanks very much for your comments also on my last two videos. I split them up. So the one that's channeling the mother of Emmett Till was separate, in case some people found it too much. But it was there, but good on you, and thank you for your comments for both those recent videos. So let's have a look here. Michael Cohen said, as soon as we all heard that Giuliani's office and home had been raided, his phrase was, I think, something like, "Here we go, folks." So we're going to be bonded here, intrepid ones, as we follow these court cases we've been hanging out for quite some time. But now I'm going to read on Meghan McCain, because both her parents I mean, rest in peace, John McCain, but both her parents have seemed like more people who can get on with other people, people who are inclusive. They strike me as tolerant and on the ball, even though they're conservatives. They weren't too tragically awful. She's just ghastly. What can I say? So what's her story? Meghan McCain. I've been meaning to do this for ages. What is it? Oh, look, really. And you can see Whoopi Goldberg just biting her tongue. I mean, really, how could you bear to be with her all that time? Anyway, Meghan McCain, what's your story, darling? So, Ace of Cups. Oh, she might be stepping out of the limelight for a while. Wouldn't that be bliss? But it might mean something else. I'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, compromise, Three of Swords, heartbreak. She gets the Two of Cups too. I don't know what to make of this. It's very, very weird. For some reason, I'm hearing emotional damage. Now, as far as we know her story, she grew up in a rock-solid household and everything. There might be more to this story than meets the eye, but there's profound damage here. She has the Three Swords in the heart. She has the Knight of Cups, but it's like she lost a brother. I don't know what the family story is. Or she lost her first high school sweetheart or something and never got over it and got really weird. Does anyone know her story? It's something weird that was profound for her. Now, with the Two of Cups that she's got here, this is interesting. Does anyone know what her position is on gay marriage? And I bet it's not progressive. But for some reason, I've got no idea about this. I'll just report what I am hearing, Claire Audio. I think her first big love turned out to be gay. And that did her little conservative head in. Last thing I was expecting. Scratch the surface, you've got to be careful. You never know what you find. Entertainment only. She then has a compromise about money and work and stuff, but she'll always be all right for money. So the stuff that matters here is about this early boyfriend. I'm talking 16 to 18, 20 max. I'll just say. Meghan McCain, and it's like, because she does come across, now I think of it, as quite bitter and cynical and kind of weird. So if anyone knows more gossip, entertainment only, please put it in the comments. Okay. Now, I just want to have a little look. I want to keep looking at the infrastructure thing because this is going to be Biden's legacy in the end. And I want to see how that's traveling. And I think, look, hopefully the Dems will realise the smart thing to do is start with the poorest states, which are the red states, and actually go and send your best young Dems who aren't recognised faces. Don't send the old guard, send new faces, the Buddha judges and the stuff, to these red states and sit down with people in focus groups and say, Do you want to really stay with, you know, the vicious, petty, incompetent villains who have spent nothing on you for 3 generations, or would you rather talk to us and we'll talk about some jobs that you would like in your district in relation to this major project? Or words to that effect. Maybe not quite as crude, but you get my drift. So the infrastructure project, I just want to get a generic vibe on this. Just going to write something down while I think about it. Money. Because I really think some military spending should be diverted to the American mainland. It's so screamingly obvious, but I'll talk about it in another video. In the meantime, let's have a look at the infrastructure. We'll just do a 4-carder. Now, Queen of Cups, Page of Wands. Page of Wands, look, this, unfortunately, the Star, which is my United States of America card, came out reversed. And although I don't normally read reversals, it means at a minimum, I have to qualify that card. So I'll get to that in a moment. So the Page of Wands, this is talking about it and the early days. In this deck, the Page of Wands is called the Home of Fire. So what does that mean? It, in the best sense, it means, you know, lighting a fire under the economy. It means getting people out there and engaged and into work. But at the very minimum, it's talking through what needs to be done here, right? A lot of talking still needs to be done. Then we had the Star, Hope and Inspiration, but reversed. And it's a bit like I'm saying, they've got to be careful, the Dems, not to just ride roughshod over everyone and say, we think you want this project here, so we'll do it, and find that the locals actually don't want it or need it. They really prefer this to be done. This is what they've got to be careful of doing, not assuming with this huge budget. Do not assume what people want. Ask them. There's a novelty. Ask the people. Then the Six of Cups, I think they'd get a better result. If they go down this track, they would get a better result. And this is also diversity and inclusion. So it's a matter of talking to lots of people of different ethnicities, of different ages, and urban, regional, rural. Look at everybody. You're spending a lot of money, and that's okay. I'm behind that. Don't blow it. Talk to people. The Queen of Cups is good, I think, at the end. Biden's my King of Cups. The Queen of Cups understands people's emotional needs. The reason America is in the crisis that it's still in, with 70 million people thinking the Yeti was all right, that's a problem. You've got to understand where people are coming from emotionally, right? Now, one more digression. It's a bit like tearing down the Confederate monuments and stuff, right? I'm all for it. Why should slave owners be lauded and, you know, the ones in the history books and everyone else being forgotten? Talk about who built America. Well, we know who really built America. It was built on slave labour. It was built on Indigenous land. And it was also greatly built by the Chinese, who then paid the price every inch of the way. And then the immigrants from everywhere else. Hello, that's who built America. And that's important. But if you're going to take down a statue, don't pull it down, take it down, put it in a museum, and people have to remember it. Don't destroy it, leave it there. People need to remember, but they're not in your face anymore anywhere. Right, they're not in your face, but you could go to a museum and see it in the context of everything else that it meant, is my position on that, for what it's worth as a tarot reader from Australia. Back to the Queen of Cups. You've got to understand where people are coming from emotionally, even with something like infrastructure that seems like bolts and steel. Every bridge, everything has emotional connections for communities. Right? Do not underestimate this, Biden's team. This could also be a woman, I don't think it's Kamala Harris, but some other woman who's working her way through the system. I'd like to think it was Katie Porter or someone like that. Someone who gets what it's like on the ground. And you go to these communities and say, look, you have youth unemployment at 45% or whatever it is. It's always bad in most places. And talk to people on the ground. You will get a better result in the end. Okay. So much love for now. Other collaborations are coming up. I'll let you know when they're on. If you missed Johnny and me yesterday, we both turned up in our special t-shirts. Lord have all the mercies. Go back and check that out. If not, I'll see you really soon. So you guys take care, thumbs up, and comment away. Okay, bye for now. Ciao.